And for the very latest, CNA's Victoria Jen, she joins us live from Taipei. Victoria, I can see it's very rainy and wet at where you are, but Typhoon Gaemi hasn't quite made landfall in Taiwan, but it's happening very soon, and some say that it could be the biggest typhoon in recent years. So I'm wondering how authorities and residents like yourself are preparing for it.
Well, right now I'm in Ningxia Night Market. It's one of the most popular tourist destinations in Taipei. During this hour, usually you see the place is packed with locals and foreigners who are queuing for local delicacies. But right now you can see this place is completely empty, and there's only very few stores that are still open and very few people that are still on the street. Now, this typhoon is expected to make a landfall at midnight, but we can already feel the torrential rain and also the strong wind that is happening right now. And this is going to be the first typhoon to hit Taiwan this year, and also probably the worst in 8 years, because weather forecasts expect that there is going to be, the typhoon is going to bring 2,000 millimeters of rain to Taiwan, and that is almost the same as the amount of rainfall that Taiwan gets in a year. So you can imagine that's a lot of water that is going to be squeezed into Taiwan in such a short period of time. And also authorities are warning that there is going to be possibly landslide and flooding, and so authorities are staying on high alert. Now, President William Lai had earlier visited the Central Command Center, and he has instructed local government to make sure and do their best to take precautionary measures and to minimize any damage and casualties that may happen during the typhoon, when the typhoon hit. And now already we know that almost all the counties and cities across Taiwan have closed schools and work. And then also we know that hundreds of flights, international as well as domestic, have been canceled. And also we know that hundreds and thousands of residents have been evacuated from low-lying areas as well as mountainous areas. And so right now, the authorities are urging the public to stay vigilant, to stay indoor, and try to make as much preparation as they possibly can to avoid damage and also possibly casualties.
Now, Victoria, you've mentioned that a lot of water is going to be squeezed in a short period of time, and we know that these typhoons can be destructive. But what's also interesting is that Taiwan actually relies on them as well. Tell us more about that.
You're right. Actually, Taiwan's lifeline is typhoon, because study actually shows that 70% of Taiwan's water supply comes from typhoon. Now, according to official data, it shows that Taiwan experiences an average of 5 typhoons a year. So it requires that many typhoons to get enough supply of water. And now, but in the past 3 years, Taiwan has experienced 2 major droughts. And the worst is in 2021, where there was no typhoon and there was barely any rainfall. Many reservoirs were almost empty, and that had a huge impact not only on the people, but also on industries as well. And we know that semiconductor industry is the backbone of Taiwan's economy, and the semiconductor sector is very water intensive. Now, TSMC, for example, it requires the use of 156,000 tons of water a day to make chips, and that is equivalent to 60 Olympic-sized pool. So you can imagine how much water that Taiwan's technology industry requires to use in order to make their products. And so it's very important that Taiwan needs typhoon in order to get the steady supply of water. And now, we know that typhoon can be destructive, and a lot of times it causes a lot of damage to agriculture as well as to human lives. But it's a necessary evil to Taiwan, so we have to bear with it. But what is most important is that the government should do what it can to try to minimize the damage and the casualties by taking necessary precautionary measures in order to do so.
Right, I'm going to let you go now and hunker down. Victoria, I hope you've got enough food supplies at home. Do take care. Thank you so very much, Victoria Jen in Taipei.